Hey friends, I'm NBC Connecticut morning reporter Noah Cornelius.
Noah, we're not going to bring up the bracket thing.
Even though,
I mean, you put it on social media yesterday.
I did. Look, I know my bracket was bad, but at least we had some good social media content.
Never bet.
And you got it right. You got it right so far, Eddie. Now, listen, I can focus on cheering for the Huskies now as the women are headed to Phoenix for a rematch of last year's title game against South Carolina. Last year, they turned the Gamecocks into rotisserie chicken.
NBC Connecticut's Noah Cornelius is here. He's rocking his husky blue, the perfect shade of blue for the men tonight.
And you're rocking.
No, don't say it.
Okay.
Don't say it.
The governor officially proclaimed this, and I have to take a breath here. Connecticut is the basketball capital of the world, and the UConn student athletes are the best and most talented in the nation. So let's support our Huskies in bringing the NCAA championship trophies back to home, to where they belong. Weekend.
You got it all in.
Yes. It is once again the end of an era for professional sports in Connecticut. According to a source close to the agreement, the Sun franchise is set to move to Houston in 2027 after being bought by Tillman Fertitta, who owns the Houston Rockets NBA franchise.
So another question here, why would they leave now?
That's because the WNBA says Boston didn't put in a bid during the last expansion process, but Houston did. Plus, Houston is just a bigger city than the greater Hartford, New Haven area, with a bigger arena, which the Rockets currently play in, a bigger media market, 6th in the country, whereas Hartford is 32nd, and a bigger population to turn into potential ticket sales. The reality is that Connecticut is currently an island in the region, especially if you raise a family in New York, Massachusetts, or Maine. Your state tax bill is already reduced based on the number of kids you have there. But here in Connecticut, that relief doesn't exist. Good morning, Bree. According to President Trump, the heart of the Iranian regime has been decapitated. In a phone interview with NBC News, the president stated he believes reports of the Ayatollah's death are correct. I can see about a quarter mile away. I see I-91 North. You're just talking about that commercial vehicle ban. We haven't seen many trucks come by. We've seen only a couple cars. It seems like people are taking Governor Lamont's warning very seriously, as DPW workers need these roads open to do their job. It's just so cold out here, and the wind, the gusts, whenever the gusts pick up, you can literally see the camera slightly lean a little bit. Plainville police are calling Friday's events a dark day for the state of Connecticut as this tight-knit community grapples with this shocking and sad tragedy. Take a quick look behind me here. You can see balloons and teddy bears on the front steps of the house in which this took place. People leaving these behind as an act of remembrance for the family that died. And we're getting breaking news as we speak right now. Our NBC Connecticut team is confirming that a body was recovered from the rubble of the house at 1:15. That's coming directly from the fire marshal. Obviously a developing situation here, and we're working to get more details. As for the other houses in the neighborhood, no damage reported to them, and there was a power outage that affected 950 houses, but they have since had their power restored. Again, body pulled from the rubble of this exploded house, 1:15 this morning. We're working to learn more. I'll send it back to y'all. Taylor, unfortunately, it was another pipe burst in the 500 building just as residents were returning last night, and it isn't clear how much damage, if any, this most recent pipe burst caused. But later today, town officials are meeting with AG William Tong to discuss the AG's meeting with property owner JRK Property Holdings. In a release, Tong says he spoke with senior leadership of JRK on a feasible path forward. Residents have shared with us that they received word from property management saying they could return to concierge as management works to repair the major damages. Some expressed feelings of relief because on Tuesday, Attorney General William Tong announced that property owner JRK promised commitments such as rent credit for tenants, the ability to break leases without penalty if they lost hot water, lodging, food, and medication reimbursement, and fixing the damages suffered. But for Rocky Hill town officials, Tong's conversation is a great start, but more still needs to be done.
We're very excited to hear what came out of that, and quite frankly, it's time for us to have a clear action plan, a clear set of commitments, and a clear idea of when our residents can expect to live a life of dignity again.
Residents also say they're pleased with the town's response to the situation, but some are still considering leaving concierge for good. JRK Property Holdings has still not responded to our requests for comment. Reporting live in Rocky Hill, Noah Cornelius, NBC Connecticut News.
Our NBC Connecticut Colleague Noah Cornelius spent the morning on the Source campus. He was checking in with the students after the game slipped away.
So close. So close. A surprise to many UConn students, like sophomore Elliot Copeless.
If I'm being honest, I didn't even have us going past the Elite Eight. I didn't think we would go all the way. And then, Dan Hurley worked his magic.
But now that the final whistle has blown, Copeless says life goes on.
Yeah, I'm still going to class, unfortunately, but still coming into the gym at, 6 a.m. But, it's a little dead on campus right now.
For other students, seniors, juniors, winning is all they've known. The men winning back-to-back championships in 2023 and 2024. And the women, well, they just won it all last year. So coming back with nothing is a bit disappointing. And after all of the hype, all of the campus excitement, Storrs lies dormant once again. But not before its students take one last time.
It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, but I'm really proud of the boys, and they made it really far, so I'm just really happy overall.
To appreciate UConn's magic this March. You think they got a good shot to win it all?
Definitely, boys and girls.
In Storrs, Noah Cornelius, NBC Connecticut News.
This was an absolutely devastating fire. Luckily, nobody killed or hurt, but for the businesses, the business owners, and the Thomaston community, this was a major loss as Patty's Place and multiple other businesses suffered major losses.
When you get this cold weather like this, it's hard to work, and the guys get cold quick.
Thomaston Fire Chief Glenn Clark says the fire that consumed Patty's Place Diner consumed multiple other nearby businesses, and it all started at 10 p.m. Tuesday night. And so you guys have been working nonstop?
Non-stop.
Stretching into late Wednesday morning because of the brutal cold.
Well, when it's 0 degrees, it just frees up the pump panels, sometimes the lines. I mean, we got a line right here on the ground. It's just a solid mass of ice.
Chief Clark says around 6 or 7 engines responded to the fire, as well as excavators to demolish the burnt remains. But to the Thomaston community, Patty's Place in particular meant something more.
We actually live around the corner, so we could see the smoke from our front porch.
Thomaston mother Ashley Boulay and her daughter Sharon both frequented Patty's.
Devastating for the town itself, just because Patty's is a staple here, born and raised. So
I have a couple friends that have worked here. One worked yesterday. It's big impact on all of us. Super sweet, super nice.
And now they hope that Patty's can find a way to rebuild.
It's definitely going to be fundraising, rallying around everyone just coming together and trying to rebuild it as quickly as possible.
And I did reach out to Patty, the owner, to share her thoughts, but I did not receive a response back.
I'm so happy because it's the dream for her.
Stanford mother Monica Villanueva loves her daughter, 5-year-old Kaylin, unconditionally. Like most little girls, Kaylin sees herself as a princess, adoring Moana and the Little Mermaid.
So she always seeing the TV, the Mickey Mouse, and she say always, "Mommy, I wanna go there one day." And I say, "Yes, one day we go."
But unlike most little girls, Kaylin is fighting a fierce health battle.
Last September, we go to the hospital and they say she have a tumor.
A brain tumor, thankfully benign. The surgery and hospital visits, though, very hard on little Kaylin. But it was while in the hospital that Mother Monica learned about Make-A-Wish Connecticut. And thanks to the nonprofit, Kaylin's wish to go to Disney World is coming true. But she's not alone in her travels.
Walking through this tunnel this morning reminded me of the day that Quinn was discharged from the bone marrow transplant unit.
Max and Allison Iolin are the parents of 5-year-old Quinn Iolin. Quinn sees himself as a superhero, Spider-Man specifically, but he also has a superhero sister, 4-year-old Anya, whose bone marrow was a perfect match for Quinn, helping him beat a blood disorder. So for the Iolans, this trip is a double dose of wishes being granted.
Kids are really resilient, and I think we just leaned on them and followed their lead, and you know, it's turned into a really beautiful story.
Both trips are possible thanks to Make-A-Wish Connecticut, which receives all of their funding from donations. But on this occasion and going forward, they're joined by Breeze Airways in a new partnership that will provide flights at no cost. A big part of helping Emma Laney and Make-A-Wish Connecticut bring Kaylin and Quinn's wishes to reality.
I feel like I get to know these kids so well, even though today was my first day meeting them in person. So to see it come to life and be here in person means the world to me.
And as the plane departs, Kaylin and Quinn's wishes are granted. And for Breeze Airways, it's the start of many more flights and wishes to come. Reporting in Bradley International Airport, Noah Cornelius, NBC Connecticut News.